Hey y'all, welcome back to Steward Your Plans. This is Melissa. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to be here and join me. Today I am going to be unboxing a package that I received from an order from Erin Condren. I ordered this about a week before Thanksgiving. I happened to be looking at my phone, had something come across Facebook, I think is where I saw it, or maybe it was my email. I can't remember exactly. But they were having a flash sale, and there were a lot of items that they had marked down drastically, even cheaper than what they ended up having them for Black Friday. So I was really excited. I've never ordered anything from Erin Condren before. I've never been in any of their planners. I don't plan on being in a planner this year, but I do love their accessories and things that I've seen, and so I just wanted to pick up a few things, which ended up being a Christmas present to me from my daughter. She never knows what to get for me, so I told her this would be perfect. So I have cut open the box, but I have not looked in it. I was waiting to be able to jump on and show you all so you could open it with me. So let's get started with this. I've already cut it open, and I'm probably going to take the box out of the way. But so this is a 20% off card that they sent. Just their 20% off my next order. And then I have it wrapped really nicely. I don't really try to keep these stickers. So like I said, just picked up a few things that I felt like I could not pass up. I had to take advantage of the awesome sale. There were several things that I got really, really cheap. So let's take a look at all of them. I'm going to put you on pause one quick second while I move this because it's going to be pretty noisy. Okay, so let's take a look. This is a book that I ordered. It's a functional sticky notes booklet, and it has all kinds of sticky notes that have tabs, which I thought was really cool. Don't have anything like this, so this is definitely something that I'll use. But it has, like, this one has the days of the week with the tabs. This one has habit trackers, which is really cool. Let me get in a little bit closer so y'all can see it. Okay. And then this one has just lined paper with the bullets down the side. And this is just blank paper, and it has her insignia at the top. And then graph paper. And then dot grid paper. So I will definitely use these. I bought these to use to make notes in my planner, specifically for things that I don't have time to really jot down in my planner, to take the time to put it in the right spot, but that I would be able to just write down a quick note and just stick it in there. So, and I thought the tabs might be able to help me find it a little more easily. So, very cool. Love those. And then this is a Plan for Tomorrow perpetual calendar. So, this I think is a freebie because I do not remember ordering this. This has the months with all of the days. I love this. Maybe I did order it. I don't know. I don't see an invoice anywhere. I'll have to go back and look at my order. But this will be very helpful year after year to have this perpetual calendar. So I'm glad to have that. And then they had their planny packs for super cheap. I think during the Black Friday sale, the cheapest I saw them was like $12, and I think I ended up getting this for $7 on the day of the flash sale. So this is one of their planny packs that says it fits on an Erin Condren planner. I don't really care about that. I just liked the style of this. I thought it was really functional. If the zipper will work. Yeah, there we go. Love the color blue. Navy's one of my default colors. But I liked this to be able to take with me to work. Right now I have a pouch and it's really bulky and takes up a lot of room in my work bag. So I thought it would be helpful if I just had something to put stickers and pins and my Tombos and things like that. I am in a Moterm cover this year, and I'm not going to be in a Moterm in 2026. I am just doing a clear cover because it's way too bulky for me, and there's just way too much to sort through whenever I'm trying to work in my planner. And at work, that can be really distracting for me. So I thought if I could house this stuff separately, I would be better off. And it would make it a lot easier for me. So really pretty. I love this blue. I like that a lot, and it probably will fit my Wonderland, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then I also ordered these pens, and I think I got these pens for $6 or $7. So these are just gel pens. It's a 4-pack of gel pens. I love gel pens, and I love Simply Gilded's pens, and these reminded me of those. I've never used Erin Condren gel pens, so I'm not quite sure how they're going to write, but still wanted to get these while they had them on sale. And then some tabs. I have ordered so many tabs this year, y'all, and I don't know if I'm going to use any of them. I'll be honest. I like these a lot. These are really pretty. They have silver and gold and rose gold. I don't know if you can see it, but let me take it out of the plastic. I don't know why I'm feeling hesitant about using tabs. Maybe because I feel like they were so, I don't know, they just got in my way last year. But I like them, and I know that they make my life easier. I just don't really, I'm not crazy about them. But I thought these were really pretty, and they're bigger. So I like that. They're easy to see. So I don't know, we'll see. I may give them a try. Just test them out and see how I like them. And then lastly is this handbag, which I am so excited about this. I don't have anywhere to house my Tombos. I have my Tombos in this right now, and you can see that this is not even all of them, but it is packed full in this Coffee Monster Co-pouch. I can hardly zip it at all. So this I'm going to use for my Tombos, my highlighters, and any other pens that I need to be able to have quick access to. This is so roomy, really nice. I really like that a lot. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but yeah. So just a quick little order from Erin Condren that I wanted to show you guys. And just wanted to talk with you a little bit about my planning process for the year. So I know that I've been on here before and have explained that I'm switching out of the Hobonichi and moving into the Wonderland 222. I'm very excited about it. But the planning process for me has taken a very long time. I have been reworking my planner for 2026 for probably the last 3 months. I think I got my Wonderland 222 at the end of September and immediately started to visualize and figure out exactly how I wanted to set things up. But it's taken me a lot of time to do it. I've also had to incorporate some new things into my planning system, which is my finances and fitness, which I'm going to be housing completely separate from everything else. That is going to be in a different planner, and I'll show you that. So my lineup is this N2 Vertical Compact Common Planner by Sterling Ink. This is going to be, I'm going to show a video on this a little bit later, but this is going to be my finances and fitness planner. And so I've already started filling it up. It's almost done. I will show a separate video on that, but that is what I'm going to be using for that. And then, of course, you've seen my Wonderland 222. So I'll talk more about the process that I kind of went through in trying to set this up in the very beginning and trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to house everything. And then I also have a Stology that I'm going to be using for work. So one of the things that irritated me about the Hobonichi is that I never had a place to really house my notes. And that was really annoying to me. And I felt like I never had enough room. And it was also, I had work stuff intermingled with personal stuff. And I would have my planner out on my desk and people would see all my business. And so I decided that this year I just want to house things completely separate in a Stology. So very plain, just a plain notebook. And I will set this up so that you all can see how I plan to partition off the pages and what that's going to look like as far as note-taking for work. Probably won't show you any details as far as after the fact, because I do have a lot of confidential information that I house in my notes, so probably won't share that, but that's the inside cover. Yeah, so there's that. And then I also have my prayer journal, which I've been working in since 2023. I fell off and have not done very great with it the last year. I hardly wrote in it at all, if I'm being completely honest. And so my spiritual wellness is something that I plan to focus on a lot this year. So I definitely plan to get back into this. And then I also have a 5-year journal that I purchased off Amazon, and this is a Midori, and it came with a clear cover, but a 5-year journal is something that I have never done before, and it's just something that I want to start doing. I think it's really important that we document things, not only in our life, but also things that are happening in the world, and we definitely want a written record of that. So, if for no one but for my own child to be able to reference when she gets older. So there's that. And then lastly, well, next to last, I have my Archer and Olive. This is a B5. Again, have not been very good about writing in this. I started this back in 2024 and just fell off with journaling back in the spring. I don't know what happened in the spring. There were 2 or 3 months in my Hobonichi I did not plan at all, did not journal. I think I may have gotten burned out a little bit, but just totally kind of walked away from all of it. But I do plan on getting back in this. This notebook is really big. So there's a lot. It was a lot of pressure for me to feel like I had to write a page a day, which was what my goal was. But I have since decided that I'm not going to put myself under that kind of pressure, that I'm really just going to focus on, even if it's only a paragraph a day, just doing that if at all possible. So there's that. And then I also have hold on just a second. I'm trying to find it. It was right here on my desk. My desk is an absolute disaster, as is the rest of my house, and I need to be focusing on that. But I just spent the day planning. It was yucky and cold here, and that's what I felt like doing today. So just worked in my planners today trying to do some setup. So this is a Sterling Ink Common Planner. This is the N1. This is an undated version that I got a couple of months ago. I think it does have the old Hobonichi paper in it, which doesn't bother me. When I was in my Hobonichi this year, or Tomoe River paper, excuse me. But when I was in my Hobonichi, I did not have any problems with skipping or any problems with the paper at all in the Hobonichi. So it doesn't bother me that this has the old paper, Tomoe River paper in it. I don't know. I guess I just got lucky and didn't have a bad planner, but or maybe it was the pens I was using. But so this is going to be my social media tracker. I'll be using this for work and for personal. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to set it up completely just yet. I'm thinking I'll probably divide the pages in two and do work up here and personal down here. I don't know how that's going to look, but I'm going to have to redate it. And then I have notes in the back just so that I can document some things when I make postings and things like that at work. I do like to take pictures and download them and put them somewhere so that I have a record of it in like a portfolio. So, and that's what this will be. This is probably the last of my priorities as far as setting up my planners go. This is just something I'd like to have, but it's not necessary to my everyday functionality in my work or at home in my personal life and that kind of thing. So, okay, so let me just talk to y'all a little bit about my pre-planning process, which has been pretty extensive, like I said, this year. The Hobonichi was fine, but I personally felt like that there was a lot of information in there that was not relevant nor necessary for my everyday planning. The quotes at the bottom, the big boxes with the dates at the top, just how the planner was set up with the monthlies all together, the weeklies all together, the daily pages all together. I really struggled with keeping up with my daily pages, and that irritated me because I didn't feel like I could go back and use the daily pages for anything else because I don't have the patience to try to index where I can find certain things and notes. And I just never found my rhythm with it. And I think that's what happened probably in the spring, is that I just got frustrated with it. It was fine, and I did pick it back up, and I did start over again probably around in July. It took me a few months to get back into it. But functionally, it just did not work well for me and the way that my brain works. And then I think also I saw the Wonderland 222. I want to say it was right after I had ordered my Hobonichi, probably January or February, on Mandy Lynn Plan's YouTube channel. And I went and looked at it on the website, and I knew immediately I had made a mistake with the Hobonichi. But I forced myself to stay in it because, Hobonichis, they're expensive. And I couldn't really justify, didn't really have a need to use it for anything else. And I kind of already had in my mind how I was going to plan it out, so I just ended up sticking with it. So, fast forward to the end of 2025, ordered my Wonderland 222, so excited about that, and also ordered the sterling ink in one. And I didn't really have too much, didn't really have too much in mind for this when I bought it. I kind of bought it as an afterthought, like a just-in-case type planner, because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this. Even though I knew from looking at it on the website, I just wasn't 100%. You know how that is. So, but the cool thing about it is as I was doing my pre-planning, I realized that I really needed another planner for my finances and fitness, because as I was going through this and figuring out exactly what I wanted in this planner, I determined that all of this stuff here is project-oriented, task-oriented, list-oriented, things that I want to house as far as a legacy for my daughter is concerned. So I'm calling this my legacy planner because everything in it, she does not care anything about my bills when they're due. She does not care anything about my weight or how many steps a day I'm walking or my exercise routines or any of that. In 30 years, I want her to look back and be able to say, oh my gosh, my mom was planning this event, or she was doing this, or, just things that really kind of encapsulate my life in its totality as far as things that truly are significant. And I'm not saying that finances and fitness are not significant, because they are. That's why I have a whole planner dedicated. But is it a legacy that I want to leave behind? Do I want to leave my finances and my fitness as a legacy? Maybe I do. She'll still have access to this if she chooses to look at it. This will be hers one day. But the Wonderland 222, it's really more about me as a person, my life in general, really the meat and potatoes of me living my life every single day. Not measurables, not outcomes, not goals, not whether or not I hit this goal or didn't hit that goal. I would like for her to be able to see that one day, but is it what makes up me as a person for her to know? So that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking about. And as I went through this and started my pre-planning, it was really easy for me to kind of pick out the things that I decided really didn't need to be in here. Not only that, but this is my work as well as home planner, and my finances and my fitness, I don't want in this because I often leave my planner open on my desk, and I just don't want folks to be able to see really personal things like my finances and my weight, for example, in this planner. So that was the other reason why. So when I was going through this and when I was pre-planning, and this is the inside cover, I did go with the all-in-one unstacked weekends because the more room, the better for me, and it is an A5. But when I was going through this, in order for me to take the information that I had in my Hobonichi and rehouse it in something completely different with a completely different format and a whole lot more room and more creative freedom, I really had to kind of sit with it and think through, okay, what exactly do I want in this planner? What is going to maximize my functionality in the everyday use for this planner? So, I definitely need, as far as, calendars and things like that, absolutely. I'm not a big monthly calendar person, but I needed a lot of reference information in here, personal reference information, things that I reference frequently or want to house here. I also needed to be able to make lists and do it freely. I also wanted... I did not want there to be pressure for me to have to fill out a daily every single day. But by the same token, I am in the process of reinvigorating my spiritual life, which has fallen off quite a bit in the last year. And so I do plan to house my Bible studies and things like that in the daily pages. And because they are private, but it's in the back, so it's not going to be something that's going to be on showcase for everybody to see. So let me just show you how I started my pre-planning process, and hopefully this might help somebody. But so this is the inside cover. Lots of Coffee Monsters Co. Picked this up at a gift shop somewhere, I can't remember exactly. I think it was in Gatlinburg. My husband and I went to Gatlinburg back in November, had a really good time. But that's Anarchista is in Gatlinburg. And then there are two calendars in here. One is my daughter's school calendar. So this is where I will mark any days that she has half days or she's out, teacher work days, report cards, anything like that, I'll house in her school year. If she's out sick, I'll mark those as well. And then over here, I have my work event calendar. So this is just for me to circle the dates on days that we have events at work because we have a lot and I do a lot. So I wanted to be able to house that completely separately. And I want to be able to correlate the two or cross-reference the two. So if my daughter's out during a same period of time that I might have an event, then I'll need to coordinate things with her. And so that's why I have them side by side. So then you flip the page, and this is just a plain sticker sheet. I saw this in one of the Facebook groups, and I'm going to add the daily stickers that I use here. And here's the perpetual calendar. And so here is where I started to kind of make notes. I think I keep going back and forth on these pages. I think I'm going to use it for what it's intended to be, but I'm not sure. And just put birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. I haven't completely decided yet. So we'll see. That's still kind of, I'm tossing that around in my head. So here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to house my dinners here. So whatever I cook for dinner, I want to be able to put it in a place where I can see it from a bird's eye perspective. I'm a big picture person. I like to be able to get an overall encompassing perspective of things that I am cooking for dinner. And I want to be able to reference and see, okay, well, we had spaghetti on Thursday, so we don't need to have it the next Thursday and the next Thursday. So it just allows me to be able to see the frequency of certain meals that I'm cooking also. And then here, I think I'm going to use this for quarterly chores and recipes. And then also maybe do like a line down the middle, have work and then home. So projects, basically. So at home, any kind of projects that I'm working on, and then at work, the same with mailings, events, offsite meetings, and things like that. So that's what I'm thinking of for those. So as I started to get deeper into the planner and trying to figure out where I wanted to put what, I started a board in Notion, and I did some pre-planning in Notion, and basically I categorized everything and made categories, and then under the categories, I indicated what task, project, thing needed to be housed in that specific category. So here, here's where I start talking about the weekly. So I had said anything measurable or measurable outcomes, which is not the case. That's when I decided to go into the Sterling ink and start putting all of those things there and housing all of those things there. So I love to track the weather. So I'm going to have the weather and appointments, no school if there's no school, things like that. Just trash, school breaks, I'll mark those. Those will need to be in this calendar. Holidays, trash, you get the idea, meetings, things like that. So I did this for every category of my life that I wanted to be able to manage. And all of this is because I feel like that if I'm spending so much time in my planner that I am not living my life, there's a problem. And I think that's also what happened last spring. I just kind of felt like that my planner was consuming me. So then here I have just ideas. So future planning, 2026, 27, things, notes that I made, categories, how do I separate things, future logs, what do I want to do? I still haven't decided if I'm going to do this because I think I've housed this somewhere else, but we'll see. And then I have my weekly reset. So things that I need to do just Friday to Monday, and then my midweek reset, which is on Wednesdays. I have things that I like to do. And then just a general overall to-do home list of things that I need to take care of. And this is a list of things that I like to do usually on a weekly basis, if at all possible. Sometimes I don't get to everything. I'm really busy and work weekends a lot, so it's just hard for me to get to everything, but at least this kind of gives me a punch list of everything that I'd like to try to get done. So that's when we get into the trackers. So this first one here starts in December 2025. There are 13 trackers. So I think what I may do, if I don't do it in the quarterly pages, what I may do is section this part off into 4 different quarters and just go all the way down and make a list of all of the corresponding projects at home that I need to finish for each quarter. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. So I'll mark December out and just make this a quarterly chore tracker. But stay tuned. I'll let you know if I decide to do that or not. And then here I'm going to put my monthly chores. So anything monthly that I know that I have a tendency to forget to do, that needs to be documented here so I can go back and check and see if I've done it. So say, for example, cleaning my diffusers, putting my washing machine through a deep clean cycle, things like that, things that I don't do every week and I have a tendency to forget. So those are going here. And so there are 13 trackers. And then we move into we have a separate notes page, which I'm going to leave blank in case I need room for another reference list, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then December overview. So the December overview, maybe just a little closer. The December overview, this is going to be, so it's for the next month. I'm going to use this as a currently page. So what I'm reading, writing, watching on television, listening to on podcasts, YouTube, crocheting, any of my hobbies, any of that, what I'm currently working on. And then it moves into the monthlies. So I'm not a good monthly planner. I just put things like appointments and birthdays. That's all that I'll really use this for. I may write events in. We'll see. I probably will. And then it moves into, this was December 2025, but I have repurposed the 2025 weekly pages. So this is going to be, one thing I did love about the Hobonichi was the My 100. And I ended up, I think I finally finished, well, the year's not over yet, but I think I'm right around 83 or 84 new things for 2025, which was awesome. It was so fun to track. I had a great time doing that. I have never done that before, and just had a really good time with that. So I wanted to bring that into this planner. So this is like my key here of different things that I want to, anything new restaurants, movies, places, projects, books, my crochet projects, podcast, music, YouTube channels, and just miscellaneous TV and any new stores that I go to. And I want to document the date and the place and if it deserves a rating or not. So there are 100 here. So I'm excited about doing that again this year. I really had a good time with that. And then this is going to be my reading log. I used to read a whole lot more than I do now. I don't know really what happened in 2025. It was kind of the same thing with my journaling and everything else. I think I got burned out. But this is, I'll just have a picture. I'll take a picture and print it out and put a rating. I'm not going to put a review. I'm not going to put a synopsis. I'm not going to put quotes or anything like that. If I find that a book just grabs me so much that I need to do that, I'll house it in my daily pages. My daily pages are going to be a free-for-all. They're not going to be really structured. They will have some semblance of structure, gratitude, the date, the Bible verse of the day, maybe a brief snippet or memory. We'll talk about that in a second. I do have a list for that also. And then here I think I'm going to relabel this, repurpose this, and use it for a perpetual packing list for travel. I don't know if y'all follow Planning Annie. I've been following her for probably 4 or 5 years. I love her channel. She has such great, useful ideas. And this is going to be a packing list for travel where we go just wherever, just things that I need to remember to take. So my phone charger, other chargers, book, tablet, makeup. I've got a whole list. And then I'm going to put down and categorize each section by whatever it is. So like cosmetics, body care, medicines, things like that. So that will be in these pages, I think. And then I'm also thinking, I thought about this morning, I think I'm going to repurpose these pages to make a healthy eating list with different types of salads and healthy recipes. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really thought that through. I just thought about it this morning, so we'll see. So then here we have, this is old information on the quarterly pages. I think I've already talked about all that. But then you move into 2026. So you've got the December review and the January overview. So the December review, I don't know how I'm going to use that yet. I've got to think it through a little bit. But then the January overview, again, will be my currently pages and all the things I'm currently working on or enjoying. And then here is January. So I have, so it's January 2026. And then here is kind of what my weekly pages are going to look like. I've already started putting stickers in just because I felt like I needed to do something to get in here. But I have I want to put weather and events up here. I'm not going to be putting, this was some medicine and vitamins that I take, and I was going to be tracking them here, but I'm not going to do that because I'm housing those in my fitness and finances tracker. But I do love having my meals listed so that I can just do a rundown for the week of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to separate this section off. So this will be work, and this will be my to-dos. And then this is going to be a next week list, and then my hobbies for the week. So I do like to track. I'm not a real big tracker, but I do like to track my hobbies. So when I'm working on a crochet project, I like to know exactly how long I worked on it, how much I completed, whether it was 4 or 5 rows, depending on what I'm working on, 2 or 3 hours, so on and so forth. So I do like to keep track of that. So those are the weeklies, and I'm pretty set in how this is going to look. Not going to decorate a whole lot, and not using sticker kits at all this year in my monthlies or my weeklies. I got really burned out on that, and it just felt like a lot of work, and it was taking away from me using my planner functionally. So moving away from that, still using some stickers, but I'll mostly be using Tombows and just regular pen. So yeah. All right, next let's move into the daily pages. So for my dailies, like I said before, this is going to be kind of a free-for-all for me. I don't want the pressure. I'm not going to predate them. I don't care if I use my dailies 5 days out of the month or if I use them, every single day. I did go ahead and do a cover for January. And these are rub-ons that I got from a scrapbooking shop from a trip I took a couple of years ago. And these are Busy Bee Planner, trees from Busy Bee Planners. And then this sticker is from Kell of a Plan. Maybe this is Happy Planner. I think this might be Happy Planner, or it could be Kell of a Plan. I can't remember, y'all. I'm sorry. And then this came from a sticker shop many years ago when I was actually cutting all my stickers out by hand, downloading them and cutting them out by hand. And I just had it. I found it, and I thought it was really cute. And so I just wanted to do something different this year to start off January. So there's that. So now we go into my 365-day chronological Bible reading plan. So I'm doing a chronological Bible reading plan, and got this from the Bible Recap. It's free on their website. You can download it. They have a whole situation going with this. They have podcasts, YouTube channel to kind of help guide you through it. I have given up reading the Bible all the way through. I think I got all the way to the book of Daniel and just kind of fell off. So it's something that I definitely want to be more consistent with, and I really want to do this in this year for 2026. So I haven't decorated yet. I started, and I think I just got overwhelmed with everything else I had done already, and so I quit. So I'll go back and decorate it at some point. But my daily pages, for those of you who are like me and you struggle, so ideally, if I get in this every single day and I do my daily pages, it's going to have the day and the date at the top. And it's going to have, I may put the moon cycle, I may not, I don't know. It just depends on what I feel like doing. I'll have gratitude, my Bible verse and scripture writing, some sort of a devotional, what I took away from that Bible verse or scripture, a word of the day, my call log of people that I need to call, in the news, so maybe a daily headline, may or may not do that, depends on what it is. Hobbies, progress on crochet, my diamond painting, reading. May house that here. I may just leave it in my weeklies. A memory or something I learned that day. A quote. I'll put different types of ephemera, photos, recipes. I want to be able to use this however I want to use it. I don't want... What I love about this planner is that it is so minimal. it gives you exactly what you need: habit trackers, overview, review, monthlies, weeklies, dailies. But there's not a lot of, there's no script on here. There's nothing, the Hobonichi has got that big block with the date at the top. And then it had those 4 like grid blocks over here, which just threw me completely off. And then you have this huge quote at the bottom. And there was just too much going on. And then you had the timeline, which the timeline is here, but that doesn't bother me. I just felt like it was a little too structured for me, maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how much I use this. And I have the A5 intentionally because I like to see exactly how much I'm using a planner, how much I'm filling it up. In the Hobonichi daily pages, I did not have enough room. But in this planner, I think I'm going to have plenty. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not I fill it up or not. So anyway, I think that's it. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. I'm not on social media every single day, all day. I do work full time. I have a family, so, life is busy. But I will try to respond as quickly as I can. I really appreciate you all taking time to be here and being part of my channel. And thanks again, and I hope y'all had a happy holiday. And I will see you again very soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.